All right, so I have chosen the repitch mode, which is right here. I have the freeze playhead parameter on, and right now the playhead position is set to 0%. Now, when I played this same sample and I was using the textures mode and the freeze playhead parameter was on, when I played a note, we heard a little tiny loop, and that little tiny loop was a frozen grain. Remember I said that the grains are little tiny loops that we hear as we play the sample back? Well, when we freeze the playhead position, we freeze it on that one initial tiny loop. Now, when I'm playing in repitch, normally in repitch, there's no loops that are created, there's no time stretching, there's no fancy wavetable, wave cycle grabbing or anything like that. So when the playhead is frozen, we don't hear anything. I'm playing notes on my MIDI keyboard. We see this yellow light here letting us know that we're receiving MIDI, but I'm not hearing any sound. And the reason we're not hearing any sound is because the playhead's frozen. So if we want to hear some sound, what I could do is I could adjust this, but I'm not playing a note. So I got to play a note and then adjust the playhead position. Okay, so there you go. Now, this is something that can be very useful if it's automated or modulated, and we happen to have modulator slots. I have them exposed right now. In case you're not familiar with how to expose these, you can just click on this button right here, and there we go. I'm going to get out of the expanded mode for a bit just to show you. I also have a little MIDI clip here. I drew in a little simple pattern. When I play this clip, you might hear a little pop at the beginning. Oh, actually you don't, because I adjusted the attack here. So there's a little popping pattern that's going on. And what I'd like to do is maybe make it so that this pattern is more of like a scratching type pattern of some sort. So I could adjust the playhead position to go forward and backward, something like that. So a great way to do this is to modulate the playhead position using something maybe like, I don't know, maybe an LFO could be useful. I am going to go to, let's grab this LFO here. I'll hit OK. I'm going to expand this. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to map this to the repitch parameter. And I also want to make it so that when I do that, we get some smooth forward and backward movement of the repitch play position. So first, let me go ahead, select this, and the destination will be here. Probably don't want to do it by that much, so I think I will adjust the amount here, the depth. Stop going so crazy. I also don't want it to necessarily go that fast, or maybe I do. I don't know. One thing I do know, though, is that I probably want this to sync to the tempo. So I'm going to change this, and let's just try eighth notes for now. And all right, so if I go ahead and play my clip now, we're going to hear the playhead position is going to move pretty rapidly. I have notes playing in a specific pattern. Let's just check out how it sounds so far. All right, so still a bit too fast. Let me adjust the attack here a little bit. And I think what I'd like is for this to not be triggered by the note, but to sync to the tempo. So then that way, and I probably need to go for something a little bit different here. We could actually probably automate this, but alas, I digress. Let me go ahead and just play it. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. We could also make this go a little bit faster. And by modulating the speed of the LFO as well as the depth, we can get some pretty effective sounding kind of scratching sort of techniques. In fact, while I'm here, I might as well. So we're going to use a combination of a modulator and automation. So let me go to my automation panel here. And yes, the modulator time base, that is what I want to affect. So I think what I'm going to do is make it so that some of these are going to be scratched at 16th note intervals and some of them 8th note intervals. Let's go ahead and click here. Yeah, no, that should go up. Okay, there we go. Something like that. Works pretty well. And again, I can still change the depth here. And I'd probably go ahead and maybe modulate that with another LFO that's a bit more randomized or something like that. And then I could have this come in and out during, you know, more hook sort of parts or wherever I want to bring the energy up and make it feel like I got a DJ in the mix. So just one very cool example of how we can take advantage of the freeze playhead parameter when we're using the repitch mode. And since I'm here, let me just go ahead and do this. Let me adjust that, do that, and this is where we're going. And okay, cool. So we have one element in here. So let's go ahead and check out how we can use cycles with the freeze playhead parameter.